Mems? I know I'm a little late with the stream because I said I would do it on Wednesdays, but oh god, buffering. What the heck? Sorry, I saw my preview where they're kind of lag, but things happened and I ended up messing up the schedule a little unintentionally. And well, yeah. Um, but uh, in the last stream, we met the robot doc. Um, and they. Oh, hey, Cleo. Hey. uh, well then, welcome to the stream. A little. I was not expecting that today. But yeah. Sorry. Still a bit tired. Mm, but let's see what else happened last stream. Oh, right. We met the robot doc and tried to convince him to give a discount on some parts or whatever. And then they had the idea of maybe he would uh, give the family discount if that is the main characters had the idea of maybe he give us the family discount if we said that we know his granddaughter. So in this part, we are going to see if that works, and maybe some other stuff will happen too. Anyway, yeah, and since I haven't said the title of the game, this is Robotics Notes Elite. And yes, do the bribe exactly. Hmm, that's a little sketch. Oh, focus. What the heck? What is up with my? Oh god. Let's save. What is up with my? Whatever. Load and. What? I don't get the joke. Mm, no comment. But anyway, this stream should be the end of phase one. Also, anyone that pops in later, oh, funny. Anyone that pops in later and hears me talking like uh, this is just it's kind of like an inside thing between us. You know, just playful banter. See, she gets it. But like I was saying, this should be the end of phase one, start of phase two, hopefully. You said it, not me. But that's okay. I know I can be too. hang on, let me just get my guide open just in case. That's funny. Yeah, I get it. But anyway, again, this should be the end of the first phase, which it's weird that these are phases, not chapters, but that's I guess what they wanted to do for this game, but whatever. I'm just rambling. Anyway. Oh, also, the reason that there's no music playing is because this is going on YouTube and I've had some nasty copyright issues. So if you were wondering why you heard no music there. Yeah. Yeah, even with the music turned almost all the way down, it got claimed, which is annoying. Anyway, Daitoku Juna is in class 3-1, the one next to mine. And yes, indeed. I stealthily peek into the classroom. Daitoku Daitoku-san was one of my classmates when we were second years, so I know what she looks like. She's short, baby faced, and looks like a middle school boy. She's in the karate club, but she's the only member in the entire school. Why do you ask? Fair point. But no. To answer your question, no. Daitoku-san's family runs a karate dojo. If I recall correctly, she's been a martial artist since she was little. Oh, jeez. But due to regulations set by inter-high nationals, she can't enter any competition solo. So I guess the school made the club on paper so that she could compete. I hear this type of workaround actually happens in other sports, other minor sports too. So her situation isn't all that uncommon. Anyway, that same Daitoku-san is in the middle of chatting with her friends by the window. When I call out to her, she gives me a fairly surprised look. Undeterred, I smiled and waved her over in a friendly manner. Eventually, she shuffles over hesitantly. Yes, you. I grabbed Daitoku-san's hands out of pure joy. Her hands are smaller than mine, almost like a child's. Even though she's a girl like me, my heart skips a beat at how adorable she is. I can't believe she knows karate. Daitoku-san's expression freezes, or at least that's what it looks like. After a moment's hesitation, Daitoku-san slowly begins to speak. So, how's everyone doing today, tonight, whatever time it is where you are? Yeah, I think it's almost 8:30 where you are, and that's good to hear.
ちょっと待って。
When I put my hands together in prayer, Daitoko-san grabs my arm flustered. She takes me to a less crowded hallway.
急にそんなこと言われてもこ困るよ。おじいちゃんに頼むだけでいいの。ダメ元のお願いだから値引きできなかったら諦めるし。
Uh-oh.
でも
Yeah, lol. Let's hope this works.
ロボ部がピンチなんだ。特にパーツ代を払えないと部がなくなっちゃうの。だからお願い、スコール1本おごるから。そんな、その、頭上げて、瀬宮さん。じゃあ引き受けてくれる？うーん。
Daitoko-san fidgets like she wants to say something.
何？無理かも。
Oh, come on. Don't give me that.
え？
Yeah, can't say I was expecting that.
大徳さんの親戚のおじいちゃんに会いに行ってちょっと話してもらうだけなんだけど。
Yes, that is true. Oh, they forgot the honorific there. Lovely. Daituku vigorously shakes her head back and forth.
私できない。
There is no such word as can't, and you know it.
もしかして毒が怖いの？
Unless that is the case.
うん。
Yeah, do or do not. There is no try. Are you telling me his own granddaughter is this scared of him? I mean, Doc is the stereotypically stubborn craftsman type, and his taste in music makes him seem like a punk. I think I can understand why Daituku-san is frightened by him.
私もう何年も藤田のおじいちゃんとは話してなくて。
That's sad.
だったらこれを機会に仲直りしちゃえばいいんだよ。
Exactly.
別にいいかなって。なんで？仲直りしたいんだよね。
Most people would want to patch things up in a situation like this. But it seems like I'm way off the mark here. Daituko-san hangs her head low as if she's uncomfortable.
今は大会前だからあんまり集中乱したくなくて。とにかくごめんなさい。あと今の私の話藤田のおじいちゃんには言わないでね。大徳さん、うちの話を聞いて。
When I try to stop Daituko-san from returning to her classroom, someone's hand lightly pushes me away.
ちょっと瀬宮、純奈をつけ回すのやめなよ。怯えてるじゃん。
Easily annoyed one.
そうだそうだ。ダメダメロボ部と関わったりなんかしたらろくなことにならなさそう。
They're the two girls who were chatting with Daituko-san earlier. They position themselves like they're guarding her.
純奈は次の週末に国体予選があるんだから、邪魔したら私らが許さないよ。
Oh, if only. If only it were that easy. R2 beep boop. Oh, jeez, that's funny. Oh.
瀬宮さんはヤシオくんとイチャイチャしてなよ。
Okay, that line is hilarious for reasons you will see in the very distant future. Because I'm nowhere near done yet. Yeah. Yeah. The reason that line is funny would be a spoiler, so I'm not going to say why it's hilarious. But I'm sure you can figure it out.
キスしたいなら俺とゲームで勝負しなよ。みたいな。
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. But I will tell you, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch the anime. It's fantastic.
別に大徳さんをいじめようとかそんなつもりじゃないよ。
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of my favorites.
待ってみんな。
Atiko-san intervenes despite the tense situation. Then, with tears in her eyes, she looks my way.
ごめんね、瀬宮さん。私、瀬宮さんの頼み、聞いてあげられないの。だから、諦めてほしいの。本当に、本当にごめんなさい。
ああ、瀬宮、純奈のこと泣かした。ひどっ。瀬宮さんひどいんだ。
How can I not back down after that? I seriously didn't think she'd cry. Even though I didn't do anything, I feel really guilty. Okay, this scene is funny. Doesn't work without the music, sadly, but I explained why there's no music playing. But, yeah. Anyway, let me read that tip I just got. And let me save so I don't lose my progress. The sound of Akio's heavy breathing replaces the loud music after Doc cranks the volume down.
ドク、こんにちは。
わーきゃーとうるせえ小娘だな。ったく。
Well, she wouldn't have to be a noisy little twerp if your music wasn't so darn loud. The music was way louder than her, though. Huh. Pretty sure I just heard Akio's internal screams while I was thinking that. I'm with her on this one. Listening to music that loud for so long would bust up anyone's ears. I wonder if Doc is feeling it.
で、金は用意できたのか。前も言ったが、一切負けるつもりはねえからな。
用意したよ。来年のお年玉と来月と再来月のお小遣い前借りしたんだから。
In the end, her plan to get Daitoku Juna's help ended in failure. And since neither I nor Michi pitched in, Akio paid for it all on her own. That's our president. I'm so proud of her. Which brings us to the present, where Akio is regretfully staring at the cash she just pulled out of her wallet.
小川田のバッテリーと充電器、それと AC アダプタ、送料なしの税込みでちょうど8000だ。
はい。
Akio reluctantly hands him 8 bills with Hideo's face on them. Doc tries to take the cash, but Akio refuses to let go, keeping her fingers tightly pinched around the bills.
何のつもりだ？
Oh.
せめて1000円だけ負けて。
No can do.
ふざけんな。プロを侮辱すんじゃねえぞ。
毒のごうつくばり。
Akio's final Hail Mary to obtain a discount has no effect on Doc, surprising nobody. After snatching the cash away without a hint of a smile, Doc hands the battery pack over to Akio.
持ってきな。アフターサービスはタダだ。マニ一つもねえだろうが。なんか不具合があったらいつでも言ってこい。
He might be a scary old rocker, but he's actually pretty good about this sort of thing.
それとテストボードもくれてやるよ。
He pulls out a palm-sized circuit board from his drawer.
サーボの動作テストをすんだろ。
いいの？
こんなもん100円もかけずに作れるからな。ただしプラグは自分でつけろよ。電池も自分で用意しな。
わざわざうちらのために作ってくれたんだ。
これがプロの仕事ってもんだ。わかったか？
さすがプロ。この店で取引しててよかった。
Says the person who just called him hard-headed.
いやー、いい買い物だった。
And just like that, Akio's mood has skyrocketed. She seems really happy with Doc's little bonus. I mean, who wouldn't be? That wasn't a bad deal. Buy one, get one free.
じゃあ、あとはバラしたのを組み立て直すだけだね。
まだだよ。必殺技も考えなきゃ。
Oh boy.
まだ諦めてなかったの？
諦めるって何を？
必殺技。
もちろん。実戦で使えるようなのないかなっていつも考えてるんだけど、なかなか思いつかなくて。変形機構を前提にしたら今日中にひらめかなくちゃアウトだな。
Well, I guess she can do whatever she wants just as long as she doesn't shoot herself in the foot. Although I know for a fact she's going to struggle over this. I can just picture her regretting her decision. I can already hear her yelling, I should never have put in such a dumb feature. The image of Akio turning bright red and stomping over to me to roll up my hair is as clear as day. Oh. I run into Daituku-san as I exit the restroom. Daituku-san fidgets as she tries to shrink away from my line of sight. Why is she so scared of me? She's gotta be stronger than I am, considering she's in the karate club. This makes it look like I'm bullying her. I quickly survey my surroundings in a panic. Luckily, Daituko-san's 2 friends from the other day are no longer to be found. Thank God. Man, what a relief. If they were around, they'd just turn this into a big fuss for no reason.
大徳さん、この前はごめんね。結局ドクにパーツ代を負けてもらうのは無理だったよ。いいねで買わされた。
I make sure my tone is as positive as possible.
いや、別に大徳さんを責めてるわけじゃなくて、ドクとは長い付き合いだし、値段についてはうちも納得してるんだ。なんとか代金も払えたし。それに今になって考えてみると、あのおじいちゃんって身内だろうと絶対に値下げなんてしてくれなさそうだよね。そうなんだ。お役に立てなくてごめんね。いやまさかあそこまで拒否られるとは。ドクのこと苦手って言ってたよね。なんで？やっぱり怖いから？
Daituko-san remains silent. Ah, crud. I made it awkward again. I probably shouldn't have asked her that. Why do I gotta be such a big dummy? Akiho, read the room. Just because we were classmates last year doesn't mean Daituko-san and I are particularly close. Of course, she'd never answer such a personal question. I desperately searched for a new topic to change the subject with.
ところで大徳さんって空手部だよね。そうだけど。
I mentally fist bumped myself after successfully turning the conversation around. Oh god. That reminds me of this one thing from what was that game? Yakuza 0, where one of the characters is just like, high five brain, after making a really cheesy pun. Yeah, same. Just like, high five brain.
実は今必殺技を開発中なんだけど、なんかアイデアくれないかな。いい案が浮かばなくて。必殺技？さあ、このぐらいの大きさの。
I illustrate the height of the 40 centimeters tall robot with my hands.
ロボットで今度東京の大会に出るんだ。そのロボット用の必殺技。空手と何か関係あるの？
Well, you see, the thing is, I proceed to give her a brief rundown of the rules of a Robo 1 match. I go over the one-on-one duel format in a 2-meter square ring, as well as how ring outs and knockdowns decide the victor.
重要なのはね、いかに相手をダウンさせるかなんだ。へえ。ね、空手で何か使えそうな技ってないかな？その。
Daitoko-san starts fidgeting again, rubbing her thighs together.
どう？私、お手洗いに行きたいんだけど。すぐ済むから、ちょっとだけ考えてよ、ね。
After my desperate pleading, Daitoko-san stops and gives a small, reluctant nod.
例えば、足払いとかになるのかな。
Oh, that'd be good.
足払いできるほど、うちらのロボって関節多くないんだ。
If it weren't for that small problem. It can squat down, but in order to do a leg sweep, it'd need to extend a leg forward and then spin from that stance. For that to happen, another joint, in other words, another servo motor, would need to be added, and we don't have time for that, sadly.
ちなみに、大徳さんの得意技って何？得意技？
Oh.
そうそう、参考までに。
She's really putting a lot of thought into this. Does she have that many moves under her belt? I've been using Mecha Enemy as the basis for what I know about special moves, but maybe real martial artists don't use them. It's then that Daitoku-san shrugs her shoulders and speaks with a bitter smile on her face.
ないかも。
ない。
うん。
いやいや、さすがに一つくらいあるでしょう。自分の中で一番得意なのっていうか、実戦でよく使う技っていうか。
私あんまり強くないから技使う前にいつも負けちゃうの。
そうなの。
Daitoku-san's reply is straight to the point. How am I supposed to respond to that? I slap my left cheek a couple times and take a breath.
だったら実戦用じゃなくていいや。あくまで大徳さんの中で得意としてる技でいいよ。
うん。
Daitoku-san goes quiet in thought again, then tilts her head. I guess nothing's coming to mind. Maybe asking Daitoku-san wasn't such a good idea. Ugh.
じゃあほら、あれ、型って言うんだっけ。それでもいい。型の中だとどんなのが一番得意？
型だとあえて言えばスーパーリンペイかな。
お、スーパー。
That's it!
それはうちの最もセクシーな単語の中の一つだよ。
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Akio, you are one strange girl.
でも瀬宮さんの想像してるスーパーとは意味が全然違って中国読みで108って。
That makes more sense. uh, uh.
大徳さん、そのスーパーリンペイには相手をうまくダウンさせるような動作は含まれてる？
But then again, what is normal anyway? Normal is overrated.
そうだな。こうこうでここでこうだから。
It's a shame there wasn't an animation for this. Daituko-san starts to go over the kata sequence. She closes her eyes, slightly moving her body to her mind's image. This is gonna be good.
先にお手洗いに行ってきても。
Crap, I held up for way longer than I meant to. I apologize and let her go immediately. 3 minutes later, Daito-san exits the restroom and gasps when she notices me waiting outside. I pick up where we left off.
じゃあ使えるかどうかはわからないけど前蹴りとか。
どんなのかちょっとやってみてくれるかな。
ここで
Daito-san looks around with a troubled expression on her face. Since this corridor is away from the classrooms, foot traffic is low, but even then, the bathroom area has someone come by every once in a while.
スカートだとちょっと。
大丈夫だって一瞬だけ。ね、この通り。
After I put my hands together and beg, Daito-san sighs.
だからこんな感じで。
Without taking a stance, She swiftly kicks her left leg up into the air. While she looks insecure in a lot of ways, her kick is sharp and accurate, or at least that's how it looks to me. Plus, it even looks like her leg suddenly stretched out halfway through the kick.
おー
I'm genuinely impressed.
ああ
Meanwhile, Daijiko-san desperately holds down the hem of her skirt after it flips up during the kick.
ねえねえ今途中から急に足が伸びなかった？
最初は膝を曲げたままで膝をこの高さまで
Daijiko-san holds her hand up to the height of her belly.
開けたところで前に向かって蹴り出す感じなの。
2段階ってことか。
Huh.
ちょっとうちもやってみていい？見てて。
I lower my hips and take a stance. I try to mimic what I just saw by raising my knee up and extending my leg, but I end up wobbling off balance. Rip.
危ない
Before I know it, I'm on my butt with my left leg still sticking out in front of me.
瀬宮さん見えちゃう
Daijiko-san rushes over and fixes my skirt before anyone can see. But I don't care about my skirt or if people can see up it. Something that I did just now. I've got an idea.
これだ。
And yeah, I would be too. No, I would never do that.
ほら見てこの形。
My butt is still firmly on the ground, my left leg is extended, my right knee is bent, and I'm perfectly balanced.
これだよ。
Same. Like, don't you hate that when you just trip over nothing? It's the worst. Oh, come on. Why doesn't she get it? Forget it. As long as I see it in my mind's eye, it'll be fine. I don't need to explain this to Daituku-san right now. I've got to get my thoughts together before school ends.
頑張るアクセルインパクトって技がある。
Yes, exactly. Oh, that's always a nightmare. Just running into a door frame.
ん？急に何さ？
Yesterday evening, Akio suddenly said she came up with a special attack and went to the clinic to buy some cheap parts. Today, she's finally supposed to get started on rebuilding the prez, but as soon as I poke my head into the room, she starts talking.
もちろん回も知ってるよね。頑張れるの第1シーズン5巻収録の第13話に出てきたよ。
Akio was linking the prez's 24/7 motors to the test board and using the battery to make sure that they move.
そうだっけ？
I have absolutely no recollection of what she's talking about. She's forced me to watch Gun Barrel multiple times, but even I'm shocked at how little I remember. Ooh.
それに昨日大徳さんから教えてもらったスーパーリンペイの前蹴りを組み合わせたの。
スーパーリンペイって何？
空手の型強そうでしょ。
名前はね、実際に見たことないからわからないけど。
その前蹴りからヒントを得たんだ。スライディングキックみたいなものかな。ポイントはこれ。
Akio shows me a small caster not even 3 centimeters in diameter.
これを種子島新さんに取り付けるの。 うちの考えならそんな大改造はいらないはず。すごくシンプルなプログラムをちょろっと加えるだけで一撃必殺の大技になるよ。これ見たらきっとお客さんはびっくりするぞ。何しろ防御不能、当たれば絶対にダウン確定だもん。
へえ、そんなにすごいの。
よし、全サーボのテスト終わり。よかった、全部ちゃんと動いたよ。新しく買う必要はないみたい。
予算厳しい割には必殺技用のパーツは深く考えずに買っちゃうんだね。
Wouldn't you want to hold off on that until the servo motor tests were finished, just in case anything needed replacing?
いや、実はちょっと順序間違えちゃって。でも結果オーライってことで。
By complete and total luck, but sure.
ちなみにネジとかちゃんと保管してる？なくしたりしてない？
The many screws that keep the press together are small. Losing track of even one would be disastrous. She'd finish putting the press together only to find leftover screws or end up not having enough. That kind of thing.
へえ、カイってなんだかんだでこのオーバーホールのこと気になってる？
単なる老婆心だよ。俺はアキちゃんのこと信用してないからね。
それ、笑いながら言うセリフかな。
まあ、赤っ端書かないように、スタートラインに立てるようにはしなよ。組み立てられずに終了なんて、アキちゃんも悔しいでしょう。
After delivering my warning to her, I go back to focusing on Kill Ballad.
こんにゃろ。
I saw that coming.
やめてくれよ。
Akio ruffles up my hair yet again. And to make matters worse, she did it while still holding a servo motor, so my hair gets tangled up in the gears. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Of course, when all's said and done, I make her remove the motor herself. Yes, yes, indeed. That's gotta smart. Night comes quick on the island. Once the sun goes down, the scenery rapidly fades into the darkness. Unlike a city, the island's countryside doesn't have many places with their lights still on at night. Honestly, there's nowhere to go even if you stayed out late. That's why students like us normally go home before sunset. At the very least, I've only ever stayed at school this late, 7:30 p.m., once or twice. Most of the lights are off. There's probably a few teachers still around in the faculty room, so it makes sense for the lights to still be on, but they don't reach the courtyard. In the distance, I can barely see the lights coming from town and the cars driving about. The moon's up in the sky. It's pretty round, but it's not quite a full moon. And to the north, the direction of the new airport, the sky oozes red. The aurora is in full swing yet again.
アキちゃん、いい加減帰ろうよ。
うん、もうちょっと。
Akio is still doing her assembly work. She finished the servo motor tests a while ago, and now she's putting the screws back from whence they came. With only the robotics club's desk lamp to guide her, she immerses herself in her work, her brow covered in sweat. She looks like an engineer. Even I can see her extraordinary zeal.
先に帰ってもいいよ。
She continues to work carefully as she says that. I shrug my shoulders and sit on the lawn in front of the club room.
それはできない相談だな。
I'm Akio's watchdog, after all. If Akio's going to keep working, I'm sticking with her. It doesn't really bother me anyway, to be honest. Though that isn't to say I plan on lending a hand or anything. Akio lets out what sounds like a scream of terror and starts panicking.
ネジ落とした。
Oops. The light in the cramped room bobs up and down. She's probably using the desk lamp to search for the screw, but I can't say I'm real confident she'll find it in that darkness.
だからいい加減帰ろうって言ったのに。
どうしよう。おいネジ、出てこいや。
お前ら
Michi, our delinquent club advisor, appears with flashlight in hand. He's even less interested in coming to the club than I am.
ミッチーが部室に顔出すなんて珍しい。
そりゃ顔も出すさ。いいかお前ら。知らないなら先生が教えてやるから、よーく聞いて、しっかり記憶に刻みつけるんだぞ。
Oh boy.
今は7時半。とっくに下校時間だ。生徒は7時までに帰らないとダメだと校則で決まってるんだぞ。豆知識な。
だってさ、アキちゃん。
でもネジが。
諦めて明日探せば。ネジは逃げたりしないだろうから。
嫌だと言ってもこの俺が校門から放り出してやるぞ。いいが、それはつまりだな。ライオンが子供を崖から突き落とすような意味だったりするわけだ。
Oh. Akio seemingly gives in and leaves the clubroom behind her. Wanting to preserve the interior exactly as she left it, she carefully closes the door.
アキちゃん、あんまり無理しない方がいいよ。
うん、わかってる。大丈夫だよ。今日もちゃんと帰れそうだから。こんな時間まで付き合ってくれてありがとう。
テスト勉強か？関心関心。ロボワンも大切だが、学生の本分は学業だからな。
I'm guessing they forgot. For just a moment, the air around us freezes.
どうした？
期末テストっていつからだっけ。
まさか、来週？
Yeah, they forgot.
そうだぞ。その勉強で残ってたんだろ？違うのか？
Nope. I totally forgot. Looks like Akio is in the same position as I am. She's gone pale and her entire body is shaking. If we start crabbing now, would we make it in time? Suddenly, Akio clutches my shoulder. There's a forced smile on her face. I can tell because her eyes have totally glazed over. Ooh, I know that feeling.
カイ、いっそのことを諦めよう。
どっちを？
テストを。
No, you idiot.
マジ？
っていうか裏切らないでね。ね。うちら同じロボ部でしょ。そうでしょ。死なばもろともだよカイ。
Well, it's not like me or Akio ever did particularly well on tests anyway, so. Are we set to fail? Ugh. In any case, Akio continued her strenuous efforts alone as the Robotics Club's brave president. She used the entirety of her day off on Saturday and finally finished reassembling the press.
ドキャーンズダダダダ。
Oh my god. Akio makes exaggerated sound effects as she presents the honorary press to me.
これが種子島新さんの生まれ変わった姿だ。
テスト 休みに何やってんだか。
それは言わない約束。
The only real change to the robot's appearance is the tail-like protrusion on its butt. It's attached to a caster. This appears to be the mechanism for the special attack that Akio mentioned before. That looks kind of cool. If only I had that technical know-how.
できればサーボとかセンサーも全部新しくて性能のいいやつにしたかったんだけどな。もっと時間とお金があれば。
Infinite cash and time. Now, there's a wish that'll never come true. Don't we all wish we had that?
で、ネジはちゃんと足りた？
足りてるよ。そんなポカはしないって。余ったりもしてないし。
それはよかった。で、組み立て終了記念のお披露目式とやらはこれで終わり？
About an hour ago, Akio called and woke me up at this ungodly hour saying, I've got an announcement to make, so please make sure you come to school today.
お披露目式は終わり。これから稼働テストをします。
Oh boy.
大会まで残り1週間だからね。この1週間でバグ取りと操縦方法に慣れるためのテストプレイを徹底的にやり込むの。
Robo 1 spans 2 days, next Saturday and Sunday. Honestly, I don't know if I should be annoyed that there's only 1 week left or happy we still have a whole week to go. Well, whatever. I'm not going to stress over it.
ラッキーなことに来週はテスト週間でお昼までに学校終わるから時間はたっぷりあるよ。
アキちゃん、勉強する気ゼロだね。
勉強してる場合じゃないもん。
It should be. Because you got finals coming up. Akio sticks her thumb up and grins. Yep. This is game over. Either way, she's decided to do her operational tests in the school hallway. Oh god. I guess I'll watch while playing some Kill Ballad.
と
Akio holds a large controller in one hand and carefully reads the manual spread out on the floor of the hallway.
そのプロポ、やたらとスイッチついてない？
ん？うん。
The thing's covered in dust after being in storage for a decade. It has 2 control sticks and more than 10 different switches on it. That is insane for a controller. As a result, it looks a hell of a lot more intimidating than the old controllers that came with RC toys.
それが名誉部長用のプロポなわけ？
うん、そう。
Akio probably confirms that for me as she looks up from the manual.
お姉ちゃんがね、操縦しやすいように独自の方法を編み出した話って知ってるでしょ？
Oh.
そうだっけ？
その神がかった操縦法を見て、当時のロボワン出場者の人たちは度肝を抜かれたらしいよ。
Akio takes a deep breath and blows on the controller. She can't help but cough as a cloud of dust from the controller bursts into the air around her. That wasn't a very smart move now, was it? This is what happens when you try to do things the quick and easy way. She should have wiped it down first. Yeah, like a normal person.
マニュアル見てるだけじゃ始まらないよね。実際に動かしながら操縦方法は覚えていこう。カイ、ちょっと手伝って。
手伝ってほしいなら昼バラで。
もう、種子島新さんを少しだけ立たせておくだけなんだから、そんなこと言わないでよ。
Fine, I guess I can do that much. I nod and Akio hands the prez to me. It's actually pretty heavy. Now that I'm holding it for myself, I can tell that it's heavier than it looks.
両足を地面につけて立たせておいて。
I do as I'm told and stand the honorary prez up in the hallway. However, it can't stand like this on its own, so I support it by holding its shoulders. During this time, Akio flips the power switch on its back to on. The prez looks like it shudders for just a second. Accompanied by the sound of spinning motors, it straightens its back out and corrects its posture.
やった、動いた。カイ、もう話していいよ。
When I take my hands off of it, the prez stands up gallantly. It's like he's a completely different robot.
今のどうやったの？
電源を入れるとね、全部のサーボモーターの歯車があらかじめ決めておいたホームポジションに戻るの。まあ、要するに自立できる姿勢ね。
へえ。
I figured it had studied the terrain and then automatically adjusted its posture to stand on its own.
さあ、準備完了。
Akio looks at the honorary prez and gives it a satisfied smile. She raises the bulky controller in her hands.
それじゃあいよいよ種子島新さん発進せよ。
Akio's hands begin to fiddle with the controller. The honorary prez takes a step forward with its left leg. I gotta admit, seeing it walk is starting to get me a little excited. The honorary prez takes another step with its left leg. Then the left leg again.
左足しか動いてないけど。
Which means it's just rotating in place with the right leg as its axis. Ooh, that's rough.
あ、そうだ。間違えた。今度こそ。
This time the right leg moves. Then the left leg again. Right leg, left, right, left, right.
どうね、歩いてるよね。
ちゃんと歩いてるね。さっきのは何だったの？
間違えただけだってば。
Left, right, right, left, right, left, left. The left leg moves a little than the right. It's not walking all that well. How bad at controlling it do you have to be to make it move like this?
タイミング取りづらい。
I stay next to Akio and watch her finger movements. That said, they're relatively simple. She's alternating between pushing the left and right control sticks upward. I guess each stick corresponds to a leg.
手はどうやって動かすの？
手はね、ちょっと待って。
Akio stops moving her hands and looks at the manual on the floor.
切り替えスイッチはと。そうそう、これ。
She appears to search for something on the controller before flipping a switch on its back.
スイッチで切り替えると、こうして。
Akio returns Akio returns to the two control sticks that were manipulating Tanegashima 3's legs earlier. Only now the honorary prez's arms are linked to their movement. They move up, down, left, and right.
おお、完璧。
To be honest, the movement tracing is pretty accurate, so it's impressive how freely the little guy can move around. The only problem...
その操縦方法だと手と足は同時に動かせないんじゃ？
そうだよ。
That's poor design. Yep, she says.
これがロボワンを震撼させた画期的な操縦方法なわけ？
How did Misane manage to win like this?
わかってないなあ、カイは。みんなが震撼したのはこんな操縦方法なのに、お姉ちゃんはすごい動きで戦ってみせたってところ。うちも実際に見たことあるけど、本当にすごかったんだから。両方の指がね、もう止まってる瞬間はないんじゃないかっていうくらいずっと動いてて、あとプロポからずっと音がしてた。スイッチ切り替えの音、カチカチカチカチって。2本のコントロールスティックと全部で14個のスイッチを状況に合わせて見事に使い分けてたの。
14 switches? Oh my gosh. What? Why would something need that many? Like, how intricate is it?
言ってみれば、種子島新さんの操縦はお姉ちゃんにしかできないスーパーピーキー仕様だっていうことだよ。
なるほどね。
I definitely agree that Misane is the only one who could make this thing work.
アキちゃんはそのスーパーピーキーなプロポを使いこなそうと、そういうわけか。
それはこれから練習して慣れていくんだよ。
本番って来週だよね。
Yes.
来週だよ。
無理だね。
When I point that out to her, Akio hangs her head.
大丈夫だよ。1週間あればお姉ちゃんレベルは難しくてもそれなりに動かせるようになれる。きっとなれるもん。諦める暇があったらとにかく練習あるのみ。
When she raises her head, she's even more spirited than she was before.
絶対にこの無茶苦茶な操縦法をマスターしてやるから。うおー、たぎってきた。
Here we go again. Ridiculously optimistic as ever. But see, even for a fighting game player like me, it'd take like a month to get a feel for these controls. It'd be faster to change the controls to something easier for Akio. If it were me, I'd have it play like KB. Needless to say, I don't tell Akio any of this. She can do whatever she wants. Ugh. It isn't my place to interject.
それよりかい、見て見て。こないだ話したやつ。うちが今回独自に種子島審査に組み込んだ必殺技。
Akio wears a proud expression on her face, then presses the red button on the controller. The honorary press suddenly bends forward. Maintain that pose, it falls backward onto its butt. And oh my gosh, they actually animated that part. Hey!
倒れちゃったけど。
ここからだよ。
Oh.
いっけー。
Then, still in that same pose, it suddenly blasts forward.
どう？かかととお尻にキャスターをつけたの。これで突進することでね、超高速、超威力のスライディングキックになるわけ。不意をつけるし、うまくやれば相手のパンチをかわしてそのままカウンターにも持っていけるよ。名付けて種子島アクセルインパクト。
それパクリじゃん。
いいの。
She's right, it doesn't really matter. More importantly,
あれ、いつ止まるの？
the honorary press just keeps charging along down the long hallway.
まずい。カイ、止めて。
どうやって？
追いかけて。
おいおい、止まる仕組みついてないとか。
止まる仕組みなんてつけたら複雑になっちゃうでしょ。
I was honestly pretty curious about the special attack thing because I kept going on about it, but I guess I only have myself to blame for expecting anything. Victory is looking more and more like a pipe dream. Akio continued practicing for the rest of the afternoon. I quietly played Kill Ballad while she struggled with the controls. Needless to say, no studying happened. And just like that, several days passed by since Akio began her operational training. Final exams are already half over. I think it goes without saying how Akio and I have been faring on that front. Supplementary exams, huh? This sucks. After exams day, Akio once again hits the clubroom to train. She ends up spending hours at the work table.
あれうん
She hasn't improved at all. Ouch. Akio was never dexterous to begin with, and Misane's custom controls aren't something just anyone can use. But, that's been pretty obvious since Sunday.
あきちゃん、そろそろ7時になるし、今日はお開きにすれば。
うん。
ずいぶんお疲れだね。
そうかな。
目のクマがひどいよ。
おっと、それは恥ずかしい。
Her bashful expression is less spirited than usual. Akio takes a deep breath, then puts the honorary prez and controller in the carrying case she found in storage. Akio has been taking the prez home every day to practice.
さあ、帰ろっか。
いつも何時ぐらいまでやってるの？
I say that to her as she's locking the clubroom door.
徹夜。
寝てないってこと？
1時間くらい昼寝してるから平気だって。あと、実はテスト中も。
答案用紙を白紙で出すとかしてるわけ？あきちゃんかっこよすぎでしょ。
白紙にはしてないよ。ほとんどわかんないけど。
I've got no room to talk. I'm in the same situation as her.
夜はちゃんと寝ないと体が持たないよ。
大丈夫。若いんだからなんとかなるって。
若いとかそういう問題じゃなくて。
I get the feeling she's trying to dodge my concerns, so I grab Akio by the shoulders and stop her.
わかってるでしょ。あきちゃんは無理はしちゃいけないんだ。
うん。そうなんだけど。
焦る気持ちはわかるよ。でもさ、俺だってあきちゃんにいつもついていられるわけじゃないし、体調管理は自分できちんとしてもらわなきゃ。
ごめん。
Akio looks dejected as she offers up a sincere apology. But her face looks kind of pale. Not a good sign.
じゃあ、今日は帰ったらちゃんと寝ること。
テスト勉強しろとは言わないんだね。
After reaching the parking lot, I turn to face Akio as usual.
ね、大丈夫？
I ask the usual question. Her usual answer does not come. Today is different. Akio weakly shakes her head back and forth, her face still pale. Oh no. Oh no. It doesn't take long for me to understand the situation. Oh, crap. Someone's exhausted me, thanks. I immediately have Akio sit down where she's standing.
なんなら保健室まで連れてくけど。
うんここでいいや
She tries to force a smile, but her brow is covered in a layer of cold sweat. Akio puts her hand out and I hold onto it. She tightly grips it. Before long, her expression disappears from her face. Her eyes are open, but she's not really there. She's not actually looking at anything. Ooh. Oh no. Her breathing gradually grows deeper and heavier. Oh God. All the strength leaves her body as she slumps over. I hold her shoulders to support her. She's like the honorary prez when it runs out of power. I idly look up at the indigo sky as I compare the two images in my head. Once this happens, it doesn't matter how much I call it to her. Akiho won't answer. But this is normal. She has attacks like this regularly. That said, it's rare for them to occur with such perfect timing. There's only one way to treat this. You have to wait till she gets better. After about 5 minutes, she'll naturally recover. Thus, there's no need to panic. I've seen her have these attacks for years now, so I understand how to deal with them. By that, I just mean holding on to Akio and supporting her. That's all she needs and all I can do for her. I let go of Akio's hand, and in its place, I put the Fink stuffed toy hanging from the tablet at her waist. Then, still with a blank expression on her face, she starts to squeeze and fiddle with the toy in her hand. The little stuffed toy she always carries on her is the perfect size to fit in the palm of her hand. It's gotten all dirty and colorless, mainly because she always squeezes it tightly during attacks to remain conscious. That's right, Akio is still conscious. The only way I can really describe this condition, these seizures, is an attack. At this very moment, while Akio is spending 5 minutes in reality, she's perceiving it as 1 second of time. And I am sorry for the green screen. I couldn't get the settings quite right, so it's doing that. I know it's because these attacks aren't anything new. Plus, Akio always tells me about them afterward. Five minutes of reality gets compressed into 1 second of perception. In essence, it feels like time is moving super fast for her. Meanwhile, for the people watching her, it's like she's moving in slow motion like a zombie or something. Elephant mouse syndrome. That's the scientific name that doctors have given it, but Akio and I call it FF. FF is short for, fast forward. You know, like how video players have fast forward and rewind buttons? It gets confusing because of all the different perspectives between Akio and everyone else, but we keep it simple by calling it FF from Akio's viewpoint. These attacks aren't something she was born with. They're the after effect of an accident that happened 8 years ago. Ever since that day, Akiho and I, we've been afflicted with these awful attacks. They tend to occur after we put strain on our bodies. Things like staying up all night or exercising too hard. That's why I always tell her not to push herself. That's why I always ask her how she feels before she drives her scooter. That's why I go with her if she's heading to school or even on days off. And that's why I'm a member of the Robotics Club. If something happens to Akio, I need to be there with her so I can look after her. Oh, he's a good guy. And the same goes for me. My symptoms are a bit different from Akio's, but I still have to deal with these same after effects. My attacks are bad enough that they actually require someone to look after me. So in that sense, you could say that Akio and I are both supporting each other. The reason we're always together at school isn't just because we're both in the Robotics Club or childhood friends. It's so we can deal with these attacks as they happen without causing problems for other people. We'd love to hurry up and get better, but there's no cure for our particular condition, so we just have to deal with it. Ooh. Which means that in order to protect ourselves, the very least we can do is support each other. Aw. Akio slowly moans but doesn't form any words. The parking lot is slowly being blanketed in the darkness. If someone happened to run into us now, they'd probably think we were two lovebirds messing around. Anyhow, I call Akio's mother and ask her to come pick her daughter up. The attack only lasts 5 minutes, but the numbness of the body lasts much longer. She shouldn't be driving. After the call, I have nothing to do but wait for Akio to recover. I take a look at her face. Her expression looks like no masks. Empty eyes, slightly quivering lips. Sometimes she ends up drooling, so it's actually kind of a problem. There was one time when she totally soaked my shirt. Jeez. Oh, this idiot. That's why I told her not to push herself so hard. She's already constantly rushing forward when it comes to the robotics club. And now she wants to add Robo 1 on top of that? Fixing our press, staying up all night to learn its complex control scheme. Akio is that desperate to protect the robotics club and make her dream a reality. But I'm not blameless. I saw her walking that dangerous line and didn't warn her as much as I should have. Maybe I should have forced her to stop? Or should I have helped her more? I don't know. But supporting each other, huh? I guess I have no choice. I sigh, straighten out my thoughts, and pull out my Pokecom to kill time playing Kill Ballad. Akio says my name. Slowly at first, then gradually faster, she blinks her eyes, then speaks again. Strength begins to return to Akio's hand. She quickly grasps at mine. I guess it's been about 5 minutes. Looks like she hasn't recovered enough to stand yet. While still leaning against my shoulder, she nods a little, then starts to slowly take deep breaths. She's told me that after an attack, she's so exhausted that she can't even walk. What a low blow. She's really asking me that at a time like this? How unfair can you get? Akiho opens her eyes wide.
今回は特別。
そっか。でもありがとう。助かるよ。
Oh.
ただし条件がある。
何？
ミサネ仕様の操縦方法は俺でも無理。だからキルバラみたいな操縦方法にしてよ。
Akio cocks her head like she doesn't really understand what I'm saying. Just then, I hear the sound of a car horn coming from the school gate. That might be her mom. I led my shoulder to Akio to help her stand, and we slowly make our way out toward the front gate. After heading Akio off to her mother, I drive home alone on my scooter. I end up stopping at a neighborhood park along the way to stretch my legs. The park is poorly lit, so it's pitch black. The red aurora in the night sky stands out even more as a result. Up until 4 years ago, it was possible to see Tanegashima Space Center rocket launches from here in Uchigaoka Park. The park has the kanji for space in its name, but it isn't actually that cosmic anymore. All it has to offer now is a dog walking trail. Half the stairs up to the viewing area have rusted away. When I was in grade school, there was a "Do Not Use" sign displayed in front of them. The go-kart track and the Minamitani Community Center at the park have been abandoned for over 10 years. Even the newer one they built near there has been shut down. But despite that, or rather because of that, this is my favorite spot even now. At night, it's completely silent. Nobody comes here. Plus, it's close to my house, not even 5 minutes by scooter. Here, I could sink into the darkness with nobody around to bother me. Just me and some quality time with Kill Ballad. There's something mysterious about it. My nerves get sharper than usual, and I can focus better when I'm here. I come here when I want to get some serious play in, like when I'm pushing for the number 1 spot. I sometimes chat with people from Tokyo when I play. They rag on me for only winning because I play in quiet spots. Oh, just look at this CG. Isn't that pretty? In Tokyo, they still have these mythical holy sanctuaries called arcades. I guess it's common to have crowds watch you play. Same with tournaments held overseas and stuff. A gallery of thousands of people sitting in a massive hall. Everything is so loud you can't even hear the game. Players get up on stage and fight against their opponent who sits right next to them. I guess you're not a true fighting game player unless you can win in a situation like that. But as someone who barely ever leaves Tanegashima, what's that got to do with me? This is my playstyle, and it's helped me climb up to the spot of 5th best in the world. I don't care if people hate on me or my strats. This stage helps me win. Anyway, time to get started. Or not. I get a call on my Pokecom. Who the hell is it now? Ugh.
電話受信。
As soon as I answer, Akiho's loud voice resounds.
もう平気なの？
うちは落ち着いた。今家に帰ってきたとこ。ありがとう。そんなことよりさっき言ってたこと。
Akiho, you're too close to the camera and you're being way too loud. You'd never guess this was the same girl who had an attack earlier this evening.
さっきって俺がオペレーターやってもいいって話？
その時条件出してきたでしょ。
出したよ。キルバラの操縦システムにしてくれって。できそう？
いや それすごいアイデアだと思うの。
Akio is crazy excited, as one should be.
そんな発想全く思いつかなかったもん。格闘ゲームのシステムとホビーロボットの操縦の融合か。これノーベル賞ものの発明だよ。
大げさだな。
I mean, that is a pretty novel idea, yeah.
そんなことないってば。キルバラのシステムを使うっていうことはコントローラーはポケコンになるんでしょ。想像するだけでワクワクしちゃうよ。あと1年準備期間があればな。
But we don't. Including today, we have 3 days left. Plus, we gotta leave the island for Tokyo on Friday evening, so tomorrow is our last real day for prep. Oh god. Oh no. We're at a complete deadlock. There's nothing we can possibly do.
せっかくカイもやる気になってくれたのに。
別にやる気になったわけじゃないよ。またアキちゃんに倒れられたら厄介だから、それだけだよ。
それでもいいの。うちはカイの言ってくれたこと嬉しかった。
Oh.
できればあと1週間早く行ってほしかったけどね。とにかく明日と明後日で何ができるかもうちょっと考えてみるね。じゃあおやすみ。
うん、おやすみ。
After I disconnect, I sigh to myself. Did I? No. Deep down, I kind of hope she just give up.
あいつのことだから諦めないだろうな。
I've been iffy about this Rebel One thing from the get-go. It's obvious the VP isn't or is just toying with us.
メール受信。
What? What is this? The text is all garbled. Oh no. Considering it's just gibberish, I delete it.
キルバラ起動。
Time to get back on schedule. I boot up Kill Ballad. Even if we did make an appearance at Robo 1, there's no way we'd be able to win with Misane's control scheme. It'd be humiliating to go to Tokyo, lose pathetically, and then come back to the island to see the VP's self-satisfied grin. Plus, the only way we'd ever be able to implement Kill Ballad's control scheme would be if we asked the game's creator.
作者いた。
Speak of the devil, and they will appear. I get matched up with none other than Frau Kojiro. What's going on here? Talk about perfect timing. I still remember the joking attitude with which they accused me of being a cheater. Whatever, it's water under the bridge. I've got nothing to lose. I don't know that Frau Kojiro doesn't use VC. Well, that's annoying to me personally. I can still use text chat. Ignoring the actual match, I start typing on the touchscreen. Okay, let me just read that tip. And then let me save. Giving away the source code to some random high school kid online would be the epitome of stupid. You'd basically be giving away your entire fortune. I doubt anything will come of this. Yeah. And as expected, Frau Kojiro disconnects from the lobby without saying a word. I must have really put them off. I gaze up at the night sky. I feel like I could see way more stars back in the day. But the crimson stain in the northern sky has made it pretty hard to spot stars these days. Tokyo's at a higher latitude than Tanegashima, right? I wonder what the aurora looks like over there. Yeah. I know that feeling, Akio. Akio is face down on her desk, groaning. Just look at the. No, there's nothing here. That's weird. It said there's a new one every time, but I don't see it. Anyway, she's holding the honorary president's giant manual. I'm guessing she's been reading it all morning, ignoring class. The president's programming is all printed and organized in the operation manual. That's me today for you. Akio has a dejected look on her face while she flips through the notebook.
このプログラムを新しく構築するなんて一日でできるわけないよ。
Akio declares her surrender in the empty classroom after the day's exams.
カイのアイデアは最高なんだけどな。
じゃあ東京行きもやめるってことで決まりだね。
Now that that's all settled, it's time to eat. Ooh, curry bread. That sounds delicious. I've always wanted to try that. I stuffed my cheeks with the curry bread I bought earlier in the day.
それはやめない。出場さえすれば1%でも優勝する可能性はあるし。
I mean, technically. But are you sure you want to risk a 1% chance? With a 99% chance you might lose.
言うと思ったよ。ほんと諦め悪いところは厄介というかめんどくさいよな。
だって。
今のまま出てもアキちゃんが赤っ端書いて終わりだと思うけどね。
カイ。
Akio quickly stands up and faces me.
オペレーターやってくれるって昨日言ったよね。
She firmly grabs both of my shoulders and clings to me as tears begin to form.
言ったよね。
条件付きでってところが抜けてるよ。
昨日の回はあんなに優しかったのに。
ダダをこねないように。
カイに少しでもロボブを思う気持ちがあるのなら。
ないね。
Rude.
これっぽっちも。
俺に言うことを聞かせたいなら勝負か条件を達成するかそのどっちかだよ。
Akio hastily whips out her Pokecom.
一回でも勝てばいいんでしょ。だったらこれから本番まで36時間くらいずっと付き合ってもらうけど。
So that's her strategy. Of course, the gap between our abilities is wider than the Amazon River, but it's possible after a bunch of matches. I could make a mistake and she'll get lucky. There are no absolutes in fighting games after all.
まあいいけど、アキちゃんの心が折れても知らないよ。
カイって本当に容赦しないからな。
I quickly finished my curry bread, then thoroughly wet my hands with a wet wipe.
じゃあ始めようか。それとも場所移動する？
いい、まずはここでやる。
Akio's pretty worked up. Oh, geez. I grin and pull up my Pokecom.
どうしたの？
He's got a message. A message? Who's it from? Curious, I open it. Wait a second, let me read that again. Yeah. Wait, Giovanni? Who's Giovanni? Wait. What the hell? The message is filled with all sorts of bizarre terms I don't recognize, but I still somehow managed to get the gist of what's written.
カイ？
Oh no.
キルバラ操縦システム実現できるかも。
Yay!
アキちゃん、このパーツ揃えられる？
I show Akio the parts list at the end of the message.
どうかな。ロボクリニックに行けば揃うのは間違いないけど、在庫が今あるかどうかは聞いてみないと。ねえ、このメッセージの人誰？
キルバラの作者。ダメ元でソースくれって頼んだら、ソースどころかプログラムを作って送ってきた。
おお、風が吹いてきた。これはたぎる展開だね。
Akio is so excited that it's generally hard to believe she was just clinging to me in tears. Even I never expected such a convenient turn of events to go down like this. It's a little hard for me to be too happy, though. Who knows what Farkojiro has in store for me?
焦んな。今やってんだからよ。
Doc's never done stuff like this for the Robotics Club before. Nearly 6 hours zoom by after explaining the situation to Doc. It's pretty late. The date's about to change. Doc keeps saying interesting while he helps install the parts. The self-proclaimed robot doctor's skills are a thing to behold. He also owns a laptop, but quickly took it from Akio due to her slow programming. Watching you's killing me. Give it here, he said. Now he's doing it himself.
ねえ、ドク、全部ドクがやったらうちのやることなくなっちゃうよ。
お前みたいな小娘に任せてたら終わるもんも終わらねえだろうがよ。
そうだけど。
任せといた方がいいよ。アキちゃんよりよっぽど信頼できるからね。
I'll let Akio pop by herself for now. Doc's fingers move like water as they glide across the PC keys. The PC is wired up to the controller board on the honorary Prez's back. It's basically the Prez's brain. You load the movement control program and do it from the PC. Generally speaking, this is where the overall quality of a hobby robot is determined. Not that I have any clue what all that program text and numbers on this monitor mean.
ま、こんなもんだろう。
Look at this old rocker. He's usually snide and cold, but he's clearly in a good mood today. Is he enjoying this?
動かせるところまではやっといた。あとの細かい調整はオペレーターの好みになるだろうから好きにしな。
早速動かしてみようよ。
Akio pulls the USB cable out of the honorary press and stands it up on the floor. She then flips the power on.
カイ、準備いい？
待って。
I need to start up the app. I've already downloaded the Kill Ballad System 2019 app that Farah Kojiro told me to.
まだ？
早くしろ。
カイ。
起動したよ。
Displayed on my Pokemon monitor is the first-person view of a robot cockpit Kill Ballad style. Hang on one second. Let me adjust the chroma key of my green screen real quick. That's a little bit better. This is just a dummy image. There's no camera built into the honorary press. Not to mention, there's no point in reproducing a proper first-person perspective on a hobby robot.
うちにも見せて。
Akio peeks at my Pokemon from the side.
おー、キルバラっぽい。
Looks like Farah Kojiro reused his KB UI, but it's not just like KB, it literally is the KB UI. I reflexively respond to Akio without meaning to. Even I can't deny that this is exciting. Plus, this thing was built by Kill Ballad's one and only creator.
見てるだけじゃ動作テストにもならんだろうが、ぼさっとしてねえで、さっさと動かしてみろ。
The Kill Ballad System 2019 help menu says the control scheme is the same as Kill Ballad's.
コマンドの組み合わせであらかじめプログラムしておいたいろんな動作を出せるって。
とりあえず一つだけ仮で登録しといたぞ。
キルバラと同じコマンドで頑張るアッパーが出せるはず。
基本だね。やってみるか。
It's a command input I do several hundred times a day, so I'd never mess it up. Upon successful input, the Prez crouches down, then stands back up while doing an uppercut with its left arm.
いいね。
バッチリ。
誰が考えたシステムかは知らねえが、大したもんだ。
The way the system works, if you just press random buttons, you'll only throw out basic moves. But by combining command inputs, you could unleash more complex moves. That seems to be its most unique feature, according to the help menu.
かい。
Akio's face is a bit flushed as she looks at me in excitement.
条件はクリアされたよね。ね、何しろカイもたぎっちゃったくらいだもんね。
Condition?
オペレーターとしてロボワンに出てほしい。お願い。
Upon saying this, she puts up one hand like she's taking an oath.
カイのゲームの腕を生かす時だよ。
Honestly, as of yesterday, I never would have imagined anything like this. It's like the stars aligned for us, and now Akio's never going to accept no for an answer. This is going to be a real pain. But hey, at least now it looks like we can win. And anyway, I already told Frakotra that I'd be competing in Robo 1.
仕方ないな。
I shrug my shoulders. Then I give Akio a high five.
まあ、約束は約束だし。
Akio grabs my hand and starts violently shaking it up and down.
カイ、ありがとう。そんなカイにあの人のこの言葉を送るよ。 カゴの中の鳥は干渉される道具でしかないと覚えておいてくれ。
アキちゃんは俺に手伝ってほしいのかやめさせたいのかどっちなの？
手伝ってほしいに決まってるよ。本当に嬉しいんだよ。カイの実力はうちが誰よりも知ってるんだから。
That's because I've thoroughly crushed Akio in so many matches that I've lost count. I suppose you could refer to it as knowledge gained through pain and suffering.
そうと決まれば、明日の夕方の出発までに種子島新さんの調整をしておかなきゃ。残りのコマンドも登録しないとだし。すぐ帰って仮眠取って朝6時に部室集合ね。
やだよ、そんな朝早くに。アキちゃんやっといて。
I still haven't packed for the trip to Tokyo either.
この後に及んでまだマイペースだな。とにかくお腹も空いたし、帰ろう。
Akio hurriedly puts the Prez into its carrying case and is about to cheerfully exit the store when...
おい、ちょっと待ちな、ロボブ。
何かな、ドク。
Doc is still sitting at the counter. He waves a sales slip at us.
パーツ代、締めて税込み16,000円だ。
Oh... crap. Oops.
安心しな。サービス料については負けといてやる。それはいい。
それはいいって。それでも16,000。
I watched the blood drain from Akio's face.
ドク、うちらがそんな手持ちないの分かってて言ってるよね。鬼、こうつくばり、
Oh
誰が
no.
パーツ取り付けやら、セットアップやらしてやったと思ってやがる。
ドクが勝手にやってくれたのに。 でもないです。
Wait a second. Hang on a minute. How do I change this? It shouldn't be capturing the cursor. That's weird. Never mind. She laughs it off, then whispers into my ear.
かい、どうしよう。ミッチーでも呼びつけようかな。でもあいつ呼んだって来てくれるとは思えないし、結局最後までお金に泣かされたか。世知辛い世の中。カイ、こうなったらうちが人質になるから、カイ一人で東京に。
アキちゃん落ち着きなよ、見苦しい。
そんな言い方しなくても。だって、じゃあどうしたら。
ドク、
I call out to the old man.
今回のパーツ代、ロボワンの優勝賞金で払うよ。
おお、
ん
カイ、今の最高にクールだった。
まあ、俺が出るからには優勝は当然狙っていくからね。って今のはちょっとキザだったかななんて思わないこともないけど。
お前ら大人を舐めてんだろ。
My trump card didn't work. Doc shoots us a sharp glare.
だがロックだな。
He bends his lips into a smirk. Apparently, that is his idea of a smile. Seeing it sends a chill down my spine.
いいぜ。出世払いってことでつけといてやる。
本当？助かった。
どうも、ドク。
Let's just keep it secret that I was a little scared.
宣言したからにはちゃんと勝ってきな。負けたって支払いは1秒も待たねえぞ。
任せて。
Akio puffs her chest out with pride. For some reason, she seems terribly confident. By the time I finally get home, it's way past 11 at night. It goes without saying that Mom is pissed, but I somehow managed to avoid being lectured and hop right into bed. It isn't until I'm in bed that I realize I'm still not packed for Tokyo, but yeah, whatever. I can do that tomorrow. Tokyo, huh? I've never been there before. I mean, I see it on TV and in the news all the time, but I can't even begin to imagine how many people live there. And trains underground? That just seems nuts. I find it hard to believe that people tell me about how buildings are lined up endlessly, going on as far as the eye can see. It might as well be a fairy tale world to a rural islander like me. But it's also where Misane lives. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited. But there's always a but. Either way, the place sounds a little scary. In 24 hours, I'll be in Tokyo. It just doesn't feel real yet. Despite being fairly exhausted, I ended up laying in bed for over an hour, unable to sleep. This is pretty out of character for me. I might actually be excited about this trip. Ooh, pretty. Music as POV? Really?
ああ、最終便で出発してよ。今日のうちにそっちまで行って一泊するってさ。
二人だけで？
いや、ミッチーが付き添い。まあ、あいつが一番お荷物っぽいけどね。
Oof.
この2週間くらい2人してかなりあたふたしてたよ。秋はともかくカイがあんな焦ってるのは久々に見たさ。
Sorry about that.
結構無茶な条件出されたみたいでね。ただなんかさ、あの子らすごく一生懸命なんだよ。青春してるなーって感じ。でさ、今日になって急につきものが落ちたような顔になっちゃって、もうすがすがしいくらいに。なんか珍しく貝がロボ部のために一肌脱いだみたいだよ。どういう心境の変化があったんだかね。で、私ばっか喋ってるじゃないか。そっちでは会う約束してるんでしょ？
してないわ。
はあ？なんで？
忙しいの。
忙しいってあんたね。わかるけどさ、秋寂しがってたよ。やっぱり連絡つかないってしょんぼりしてたし。私さ、それ見てちょっと抱きしめてあげちゃいそうになったよ。あんた最近妹とちょっとでも話した？これだよ。いい子じゃないか。私もあんな妹が欲しかったわ。
そうね。
冷たいな。ああ、ま、それはいいとして。実際どうなのよ。一言挨拶する時間ぐらい作ってやったら？
言ってるでしょ。忙しいの。
それはわかるけど。でも、ちょっとは自分のことも考えなよ。どうせ男だってろくにいないんだろ。
見ずに言われる筋合いはないわ。
お、今の言い方昔っぽいじゃないか。ようやく感覚取り戻してきた？ちゃんとご飯食べてんの？家とか散らかしっぱなしのままじゃないでしょうね。あんたって昔からそういうところあるから。テレビのミサを見てファンだって言ってるおじさまたちに教えてやりたいわ。冗談だよ。とにかく後輩たちの晴れ姿を見るぐらいはしてやんなって。わかった？
そろそろ切るわ。これから取引先と会食なの。
ああ、また連絡するよ。じゃあな。やっぱりあんたはもう帰ってくるつもりはないんだね。それは秋やカイだけじゃなくて私も寂しいな。はあ。
I gently lift my head and notice that light is coming in from outside the window. I've been sitting on this hard seat for so long that my body aches all over. I stretch out a bit in my seat.
まさかハンバーガーショップで一夜を過ごすとはね。
We figured we had a hotel reserved, but after getting to Haneda Airport, Michi delivered a shocking announcement.
いいか、耳かっぽじってよーく聞くように。ホテルは取ってないぞ。わかるか？予算ないのに泊まれるわけがない。これは豆知識というか、社会の常識だ。勉強になったな。
And then he moved on like it was no big deal. And so we set out for Odaiba, the place where Robo 1 is held, and spent the night in a 24-hour burger joint.
日々これ勉強だぞ、ヤシオ。東京は島とは違うことばっかだろ。この経験がだな。やがてお前にとって貴重な財産となるんだな。うん。
まあ、確かに違うことばっかりだよ。
On the island, the only 24-hour joint is a diner in Nishinomote. We also only have 2 convenience stores in total. And then you have the fact that even in the middle of the night, Tokyo is lit up pretty darn bright. As someone who accustomed to the darkness of the island, that brightness was actually a little scary. Oy. I even ended up looking for that ominous aurora in the sky. Fortunately, the blood red ooze was in the sky where it always was, serving as a reminder that we weren't too far from Tanegashima. And such was my first night in Tokyo. A priceless experience or something.
そもそもヤシオはワクドは初めてだろ？ん？先生のおごりで食べたハンバーガーはどうだった？
Oh god. Oh god, that parody. McDonald's. Oh. WICD is short for McDonald's, a fast food joint. Yep, that's the parody. It's the place for burgers in Japan, but we have none on Tanegashima. Even though we're nearly 20 years into the 21st century. Yes, that works too.
別に初めてじゃないよ。鹿児島で2回くらい食べたことあるから。
Oh. Yeah, but some of the parodies in these visual novels are just really stupid. Like in the one that takes place before this, Steins Gate, there's oh god. Yeah, there's a parody of Dr. Pepper, but they change it to DK Pepper. Yeah. But in the original visual novel for that one, it's it was Dr. People. Yeah. Their burgers are totally fine, and the one I had yesterday was no different. I could have gone for another though.
それに、ワクドなんかどうでもよくて。
If possible, we wanted to avoid being exhausted due to spending the night on such hard chairs. For Akio and I, that was important. There's the threat of having an attack at any time. The more we strain our bodies, the easier it is for an attack to occur. As soon as I found out that we didn't have a hotel booked, the first thing I worried about was having an attack. So right now, it's basically like I'm holding onto a bomb with a lit fuse. Ugh. Who knows when it could explode? Either way, I know for sure that it's lit. And once the fuse is lit, it won't stop until it explodes. It's just a question of when. I have no control over that, so all I can do is pray. I'd prefer it if it occurred at a time and place that would cause as little trouble as possible to the people around me. I grit my teeth. This condition is irritating as hell. Yeah, you're right. I never noticed that before. You're kind of right, it does. Oh my gosh. It sucks having to worry about this while I already have other things to deal with. I'm so fed up that I want to scream. I want to go back to the island right this minute.
でミッチーさ、ロボ案のエントリーってもう済ませてるの？
I know you're not, but that's okay. I'm not mad.
いや、シード組以外は今日の朝に会場
It's
まで行って受付を済ませることになってる。
it's just now I can't unsee it. He thinks? So much for his great leadership.
何時から？
確か9時だな。先生の記憶が確かならだぞ。これ豆知識な。
God.
いやー、さすがミッチー。役に立たないったらないね。
なんだと？じゃあ先生を敬う気持ちが足りんぞ。
I ignore Michi's whining for now. It's 8:50. If registration starts at 9, we need to head to the venue now or we'll be in trouble. I have no choice. I wanted to let her rest a little longer, but I'm gonna have to wake Akiho up. Oh, you are bad. She's in the seat next to me, face down on the table and snoozing away. Up until an hour ago, she was doing the final adjustments to the president's programming, eventually dozing off. She looked really comfortable, and since I felt any final tweaks couldn't be that important, I let her sleep. But since Akio was the only one who actually knows the correct registration time, I gotta wake her up.
アキちゃん、起きて。そろそろ行くよ。
That is such a mood. Still half asleep, Akio irritatedly swipes away my hand, shaking her shoulder. Slightly annoyed, I shake her shoulder again.
アキちゃん、朝ですよ。
Oh, God. Yeah, that'll get her up. Oh, God. Oh, God, they even parodied the jingle. I was not expecting that. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, God, that just made me really happy. Is she dreaming? Since she's not waking up, I sigh and forcefully pull on her ear. Oh, God. Oh, this stream is gonna break me. I just know it. True, it's rude, but it woke her up. Akio's hands claw at the air.
起きた。
Again, rude, but it worked. I release my hand and she glares at me resentfully. Her eyes are red. That's what a lack of sleep will do to you. I would know.
今の起こし方はひどいと思うな。
Yes, that was mean, but it worked.
アキちゃんがあんまり気持ちよさそうに寝てるから、いたずらしたくなっちゃってね。
Rude.
うち寝てた？
Fair enough. That would be an appropriate response. She suddenly looks around in a panic.
じゃあまずいな。まだ
プログラム済んでないのに。
なんだ瀬宮妹、まだ終わってなかったのか？
Oh no.
見てただけのミッチーに言われたくないよ。
そんなことよりロボ1のエントリーって何時から？
今って何時？
9時前。
エントリーは9時からだからもう出なきゃ。
Even though she was asleep just a second ago, she's already clamoring about.
よーし、それじゃあお前ら先生についてこい。
Neither of us respond to Michi's order. We leave the restaurant and cross the roadway via an overhead walkway. The road below is filled with cars. There are so many cars that I can't help but stop and stare. Now that it's daytime outside, I take another look at my surroundings. So this is Tokyo. Let me look around real quick with anything else. I've already got that one. One of the biggest metropolises in the world. The Bay Area is under large-scale redevelopment for next year's expo. Giant buildings made with cutting-edge 21st century tech line up side by side. This is a common sight across Odaiba. They're all probably taller than the ones by Kagoshima Station. At the very least, I've never seen buildings this big in person before. Across Tokyo Bay and the Rainbow Bridge, countless buildings line the shore. You can even see the Tokyo Tower, which is currently being taken apart due to its age. Honestly, I've never seen this many buildings before. There are no mountains or forests. Everything's man-made as far as the eye can see. Compared to the island, Odaiba is hot and muggy. The air feels like it's clinging to my skin, and I'm not a big fan. The hazy sky makes everything feel all the more suffocating. Ugh. It's like the buildings and sky around me are going to come collapsing in. Ooh, I hate that feeling. It's like I'm gonna choke on my own breath. Ugh. Misane has been living in the city for 6 years already. Right after crossing the overhead walkway, the Odaiba Arena comes into view. Aki was refreshed and recharged as she splashed her face in the restroom. She leads the way, a skip in her step.
寝起きなのにテンション高いね。
ロボ部の運命がかかった日だよ。テンション上げていかなきゃ。
よし、ここで先生から提案してやろう。いいか、今から3人で学校の校歌を歌うんだ。歌いいぞ。
やだよ。
テンション上げる意味が違うよ、ミッチー。そりゃあ歌は文化の極みだけど。
Singing is the pinnacle of culture. It's definitely up there, yes. I agree.
お前たち、先生は悲しいぞ。
Oh, God. For some reason, the downtrodden Michi just runs off into the distance. I think it's safe to ignore him for now.
残りのプログラムも気合で済ませるから、カイは何にも心配しないで。
Yeah, exactly. Like,
結局練習する時間は全く取れなかったんだね。
but that reminds me. You should have seen the face of the vice principal from their school. Oh, she is something else.
それはごめん。
No rehearsal time is gonna hurt. Today's the qualifier, so I just have to pray I don't get matched against a veteran. I'm gonna have to learn as I play. The plaza in front of the venue is already crowded with people. There are teenagers like us in school uniforms, middle-aged men, and even some women who look like they could be models.
カイはこの辺で待って
I guess I'm on luggage duty. Lovely. If our beloved honorary prize got stolen by a rival or something, we'd be real screwed. Not that I expect anyone wants our junky decade-old hobby robot.
アキちゃん
I called Akio from behind.
無理しないように
ありがとう。
She smiles and strikes a pose, then walks off alone toward the expo arena. Now then, I've got some free time until she returns. Michi's off who knows where. I crouch down in place and close my eyes. If I focus my awareness into my mind, I can feel the blood flowing around inside my body. At the same time, feelings like unease and impatience start welling up from within. It's obvious that the fuse is getting shorter, but I still have no clue how much of it is left. I want to conquer this mental weakness that's been tormenting me. I want to forget about the anxiety caused by this bomb, but I can't. So, if I'm going to endure all this, I might as well relieve some stress by playing Kill Ballad. Truth be told, I spent the entire night playing at Wick D. That's why I didn't sleep much, if at all. After playing the game in Tokyo, I can hardly withstand my own intense excitement. Why, you ask? Because there's basically no lag in multiplayer. Oh, God. Yeah, lag is a pain. On Tanegashima, due to connection issues and the like, there's simply no way to avoid the effects of lag. Hell, until last night I figured it was totally normal. I thought everyone was dealing with lag to some extent. But when I started up KB for the first time in Tokyo, it was completely different from playing on the island. The response time to my inputs was so smooth that it made me feel like I was playing a different game altogether. In matches between top rankers, a difference in only a few frames of input decides victory and defeat. So for a game like Kill Ballad, a lag-free environment is practically a paradise. Ironically, since I'm used to playing with heavy lag, the accurate timing led me to lose to some lower tier players. But thanks to the thrill of playing KB in its true form, I forgot about my anxiety. It was like a kind of tranquilizer. Maybe I should move to Tokyo if it means no more lag. A part of me is seriously considering college here just for that. It's pretty common for universities with lower score ceilings to not fill up, so I should be able to get in somewhere. Oh,
おおお田尻
I end up shouting out loud. I just got matched with number 4 on the leaderboards. Tajiringer. I call them Tajirine. This marks my first time getting matched with someone higher in rank than me, while in a lag-free environment. While I'm still only ranked 5th, Tajiringer is the only player in the top 5 that I truly respect. All of our players higher than me play in complete silence without using VC. Tajiringer is no exception. Hell, they don't even respond to text chat. I have no idea what kind of person they are. What I do know is that they're crazy strong. If we're talking win-loss records, I've lost the overwhelming majority of our encounters. But that's exactly why I always challenge them when I can. Like now, even though I'm still not used to the lack of lag. But you know what? A Trickle Ballad player would accept the challenge anyway.
相手にとって不足なしだね
I lick my lips and start to psych myself up. I've already managed to stuff my anxiety into the corner of my mind. Oh boy. Okay. I forget there are people around me and shout into the air. I can't help but get hyped up when I beat someone strange for me, right? I guess it's an adrenaline rush. But here's the thing: you can't rise in rank just by winning, or by just winning once. I need to raise my win ratio against the higher tier rankers. Tajirina disconnects after just one match. Oh man, I wanted to fight them a few more times at the very least. I close kill ballad a bit downtrodden. Oh. After I yawn, I begin to stretch in an attempt to fight off my drowsiness. Fortunately, I've managed to drive off some of my anxiety toward the bomb I'm carrying. I'm fine, it doesn't even phase me. In a little while, the Robotics Club, Minakio, will stand on the same stage that Misane did 9 years ago. I don't really care about the club getting shuttered if I lose, but I admittedly do kind of want to win the championship like Misane did all those years ago.
だからさ、あんま邪魔しないように。
I can't help but mutter that to the bomb inside of me. I'm standing in the Robo 1 entry registration line. Without even realizing it, I pulled up a certain person's name on my Pokecom. I'm kind of surprised at myself. To be honest, I was planning on sending her a message while in line. I've probably only ever called her a few times total. That's mostly because I usually send my older sister messages. I rarely call. Heck, I don't plan on calling her right now either. Yet here I am staring so intently at her name that I even forget to breathe. My sense of panic is almost laughable. Oof. Whether it be by message or phone call, I haven't once been able to get in touch with Big Sis over the last 6 years. Oh my god. She doesn't answer any of my calls or reply to any of my messages. She must be busy with TV appearances and stuff. Oh, and despite appearances, she's pretty disorganized. I know I'm just making excuses to fool myself. My sister was a college student up until 2 years ago, and even then I couldn't get in touch with her. God. All these feelings well up inside my head. Is she avoiding me?
秋は何をやっても平凡止まりなのよ。
If I just say the word in my Pokemon, it'll call her. But when I try to speak, my voice gets caught in my throat. It won't come out. I'm hesitating. I'm in Tokyo right now. My sister is somewhere in the city too. This is probably the closest I've been to her since she left the island 6 years ago. She's right here in front of my eyes within arm's reach. I sent her a message before about everything going on with Robo 1, but I have no clue if she read it or not. Since I'm here in Tokyo, I want to see her. She's family.
迷うなバカ。コール。
I still myself and say the word out loud. My sister works for the Exoskeleton Company. It goes without saying, but that's the company that produces HUGs. Right now, it's rated #1 on the list of companies in Japan that students want to go and work for. Big Sis makes appearances on TV. And in commercials as the person in charge of their PR. Oh, that's weird. I'll deal with that person later. Big Sis makes appearances. Blah blah blah. I read that already. Since last night, I've seen countless posters and AR ads with her photo plastered on them. I think I've seen her more in the last few hours than I did on the island. Yet, somehow, I can't get in touch with her. I stare at the screen display almost like I'm sending a prayer. It's like something deep in my chest is being squeezed tight and it hurts. Wait, there was something there. Wait, wrong button. Wrong button. It's Y. I clench my chest over my clothes. I think the receptionist calls out for me. It's then that I realize I'm already at the front of the line. Hang on one second. Huh. Yeah, sorry, I was just dealing with a thing here. Wait, escape. Yeah, someone. Yeah, I guess someone tried to like. Yeah, I guess there was a bot in the chat. Uh, the one looks at me and offers an entry form for me to fill out. Oh, also, I saw your. Yeah, I know, but also I saw your tweet or your quote tweet on my link just now. Uh, and that reminds me, you still haven't replied on Zelda yet. I mean, no rush. You can get to it when you're ready. I just thought I'd remind you. Yeah, I figured it's fine. There's no rush anyway. My gaze starts back and forth between the Pokecom and monitor and the woman. Wow, 2.5 hours already. God dang. I sigh and put away my Pokecom. I'm finally within arm's reach. She's so close. Yet I still cannot reach her. The first battle of the qualifying tournament has already started. Our Chihuahua Tanagashima High team is apparently set to fight in about 15 minutes. Oh my gosh. For what it's worth, Michi is still missing. So much for our chaperone, huh? Aki was making program adjustments until just a little while ago. Now she's lecturing me on the rules of the competition.
ロボワンルールは3回相手をダウンさせるかリング外に落とせば勝ちなの。あとダウンさせられた場合とか スリップして転倒した時は10カウント以内に自力で立ち上がらないと追加ダウンをで、コマンド表は覚えた？
Not at all. Do what you gotta do. I mean, I would do it too if I were you. She gave me a memo with the command list last night. They're much less complicated than kill ballads, and there aren't nearly as many of them.
あの程度なら覚えるまでもないよ。
種菓子アクセルインパクトってあるよね。これはこの前見せたうちの考えた必殺技。奇襲技に近いからここぞっていうところでしか使っちゃダメだよ。
Yeah, that's just petty. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, but yeah, it's like I said, I get you haven't responded and because you fell asleep, and I'm not mad. I was just reminding is all. That transformation into charge attack thing. Honestly, that thing feels more like a suicide attack than anything actually usable.
それでね、さっき予選トーナメントの組み合わせが出たんだ。
But yeah, some people are just pushy, petty, and just beyond rude, really. You're welcome. But yeah, I get it. It happens. But yeah, people are just rude sometimes, though. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have time for that. I get it. It's like, no. If they're gonna try and force you into that, you should not give them the time of day.
メールで転送するね。
いや別にいいよ。見たって誰が誰だかわからないし。何回勝てば決勝に行けるわけ？
4回。決勝は明日やるの。
うーん。
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that those other links are just jealous of mine. Four times, huh? Things are going to be pretty competitive.
1回戦で当たるのは前川静也って人のデビルストロンガー。
Yeah, I knew you'd appreciate that, or at least get a laugh out of that. I mean, because it is kind of true that they're just pushy, jealous idiots. Devil Stronger? That must be the opponent robot's name. Yeah, exactly. Lol. I mean, yeah, I could see that being true to a point.
どう？感想は？
感想って言われてもね。本当に名前も何もわからないんだって。
カイっては世の中のこと知らなすぎ。デビルストロンガーは前回大会の決勝トーナメント進出者だよ。すごいパワープレイで勝ちまくったの。
Yeah, exactly.
実力者ってこと？そんな相手といきなり当たっちゃうなんて参っちゃうね。
でもう うちらが勝てばヒーローになれる。
Akio clenches her fist tight and steps up toward me. Why is she so into this?
オペレーターの前川って人はものすごくヒールな感じのおじさんなんだ。インタビューとか見ててもね、こんにゃろーって思っちゃうくらい印象良くないんだよ。
Yes, yes, indeed there are. And sorry, everyone else that has to hear this conversation, or at least my end of it. We're just talking about things that we hate about Twitter. It's fine. I kind of started the conversation, I'll admit.
でも大会側が面白いからって理由でプッシュしてるの。悪役なのに優勝候補になってるぐらい。
Mm. You sure about that?
ね、カイがデビュー戦を飾るにはもってこいの相手でしょ。
Oh. Yeah, this is just something we do. Like, this is just something that we do. We like to teach each other like this.
悪役を倒すのは正義のロボットだって昔から相場は決まってるんだもん。
その根拠のない自信はどこから来るんだろうね。
確かに決勝に残るくらいなんだから相手はすごく強いと思う。
Yeah, I think I'll go for a bit longer, and then uh, I might end the stream at about 3 hours or so. Not sure yet.
でもキルバラシステムを搭載した種子島シンさんとカイの実力ならデビルストロンガーをギタンギタンにできる。そうでしょ。
This feels more like a threat than anything. She presses closer, causing me to draw back instinctively. Yeah. And I get that it's hard to say no to certain people, but you got to do it. And yeah, there are quite a few that you've mentioned that sound like they do need a good block. And I think you are learning.
そんなに安心したいの？ここで俺が楽勝だよって適当なこと言ってアキちゃんを安心させるのはさ、簡単だと思うけどね。
Yeah, and that reminds me, there was one time when I was streaming, what was it, Steins Gate Elite, which you will no longer be able to find on YouTube because of copyright issues. I had to delete all the videos. It took me, I think, 19 parts. Yeah. Uh, one of those streams, I went for, I think, like 4.5 hours.
ただ、今はそういう気
So
休めを
this is
アキちゃん
nothing.
に返してあげるほど余裕なかったりして。
Yeah, I was impressed with myself. Yeah, so yeah, three is nothing.
あ
I just need to spend some time between this stream and the next one. Yeah, I was impressed too. Which, speaking of that stream, I guess my donations didn't go through, sadly. Sure, I'm ranked 5th in the world on the Kill Ballad leaderboards, but that took a long time and a lot of effort. Yeah, it said that there was a problem, but I tried because I really wanted to donate. I learned the ins and outs of my own character, and then I learned how to handle each and every matchup. You're welcome. But I'm going into this fight with nothing, not even an ounce of practice. I'm going to have to focus even harder than I do when I play Kill Ballad.
俺ってほら、こう見えて繊細な男だったりするからね。
カイ、まさか体調が。
どうかな。
There's no point in hiding the truth. She's been dealing with my attacks for as long as I've been dealing with hers.
徹夜の影響はやっぱりあると思うよ。
そう。
Akio's expression darkens as she gazes straight into my eyes.
あのね。
Yeah, straight into my eyes, model gazing at floor. Also, I have to say again that I love the look at what? Oh, ha ha, right. I was kind of confused there because you said look away. But yeah, but I like how it was just like straight into my eyes, model gazing at floor. But I also have to say that again, I love that they're using like legit 3D models here. In the original version of this game, the characters were hand drawn and only the mouths moved. But now they blink and everything. And do that. Like she's imploring me. Or appealing to me. That look.
何？トイレならそこの角を曲がって。
Yes. Flat face too.
違うよ、こんにゃろ。
Again with the hair. Did she really have to go for the hair now of all times?
一体何なの？
Yeah, then yeah, what the heck? I give her the floor, but while it looks like she wants to say something, she can't seem to put it into words. Eventually, she shakes her head. In the end, Akio swallows her words. Nevertheless, I get the gist of what she's trying to say. If we lose, the Robotics Club is finished. Everything we inherited from our seniors over the last 9 years will be lost. For luck, sure. That's why we're here at Robo 1. This is a battle that we can't afford to lose. That's what you want to say, right? But here's the thing. None of that matters to me.
ねえ、アキちゃんさ、飴ある？
何？
飴。
飴って飴？
Wait, okay, so they're saying Ame. I thought that was the word for rain, not candy. Maybe it's written differently.
そう今持ってる？
カイはマイペースだな。
She grumbles as she pulls a piece of the usual space candy out of her skirt pocket.
はい、一個だけね。
あるんだ。よいいね。後で返すよ。
うん。
I pop it into my mouth. The refreshing sensation makes its way down my throat. Yeah, that's the ticket.
カイ、
It looks like the weight's been lifted off her shoulders. Skirt skirt fluff. Oh, that's funny. Akio slaps me on the back.
勝とうね。
She says that with a smile.
カイは相手が誰だろうと容赦なく叩き潰すタイプでしょ。いつも通りやれば勝てるよ。
まるで俺が悪役みたいな言い方だね。
But I'll take that over the tone she had earlier. Luck is not on my side. It's my first time on the big stage. My condition is a mess. Could this possibly get any worse? Kai, that is the one thing you never say. You never say what could possibly go wrong, because then it will. And on top of that, it's always possible I might end up with a bad matchup. If that happens, it'll be over before it begins. So yes, it could get worse. Yet at the end of the day, the feeling of wanting to be the best is the same here as in Kill Ballad. Yeah, exactly. You don't just no. I'm not excited, nor am I held back as a member of the Robotics Club. As far as I'm concerned, this is just another fighting game tournament.
時間だね。行こう。
I hear cheers from afar and excited announcer commentary accompanied by stomps that shake the entire venue. All of that is just beyond the end of the hallway, shrouded in the light on the other side. Akio and I stand shoulder to shoulder and step into that light together. It's a different world on this side. A huge arena surrounded by bleachers from which all eyes are on us. The cheering shakes our bodies. While it's not full capacity, I can't believe that this many people would be here for the qualifiers, and in the morning, too. I have never seen this many people gathered in one place before. It's overwhelming. For the first time in my life, it truly dawns on me that Robo 1, and robots in general, are booming worldwide. The AR billboards with Misane displayed on them only puts more pressure on me. She was my master when it came to gaming, and I could never even come close to beating her. While she isn't here in person, it sure as hell feels like she is, telling me, I'm watching you, so you better not screw up. The tension in the air is getting higher and higher. I need to make sure not to let myself get overwhelmed by the sea of people. If I were to lose because I couldn't stay focused, that would be really embarrassing, especially as a gamer. Oh my gosh. There are already matches underway elsewhere in the arena. A quick glance around the building reveals a huge variety of hobby robots going toe-to-toe with each other. I'm starting to get worried about our decade-old Honorary Prez. I can faintly hear an official yelling for Chuo Tanegashima high in the distance.
第4リングだって。
Okay, ring 4, alright.
はい。
Round 1. Let the games begin. I stand before the ring with Akio. The gazes and cheers from the audience seem distant now. I'm deepening my focus, holding my nerves. Thanks to the candy in my mouth, I don't feel drowsy from staying up all night. I'm also doing my best to hold back my anxiety and irritation about my incoming attack. If this bomb's going to explode, do me a favor and wait until after the match, alright? All I can do is pray for that.
さあ第4リングでは注目のデビルストロンガーが登場しているぞ。I am here。ヒール宣言した前川静也に注目しようぜ。デビルストロンガーの最初の餌食となるのは種子島の高校生だ。
The live commentary reverberates throughout the venue. On mic is the famous Jay Babylon. Despite his name, rumors say he's actually Japanese. The incendiary commentary is assuming we're going to lose. And I can't say I'm much of a fan. After being introduced to the audience, I bow my head slightly. Akiho stands the honorary press up inside the ring. Maikawa is on the other side of the ring, raising both arms to the audience. He knows how to work the crowd. The cheers get noticeably louder. Maikawa's double stronger is pretty big too. It's easily 1.5 times the height of the honorary press.
ねえ、アキちゃん。ロボワンって階級みたいなのってないの？
何年か前はあったけど今はなくなっちゃった。最近はね、優勝者は結構軽量タイプのロボを使ってる人が多いんだよ。だから小さい方が不利とかそういうのはあんまり関係ないわけで。
それは最近のロボの話でしょ？名誉部長の基本設計は9年前だよ。
そうだね。でもほら、あの人もこう言ってたし。機体の性能の違いが戦力の決定的差ではないということを教えてやるって。
No, performances matter quite a lot. What, no. If this guy really is a favorite for winning the whole thing, it's entirely possible our odds are 0 to 10. But hey, Aka's back to her normal, ridiculously optimistic self, so I'm feeling pretty alright.
まあ、今さらあたふたしないよ。もともと不利な条件なんだし。
Maikawa glares at Akio from across the ring and snorts out a laugh.
言うじゃねえかお嬢ちゃん。つまりあれか、機体性能じゃデビルストロンガーより劣ってるけど、操縦のではてめえのボーイフレンドちゃんの方が俺より上だって言いたいわけか。
This guy's clearly in his 40s. The dude is running his mouth off an awful lot for someone so soft and flabby.
俺よりもこのボーイフレンドちゃんがうまいって。どういうこと？
Oh, God. Yeah, that is true.
もちろんです。あ、いや、ボーイフレンドとかそういうんじゃないですけどね。海の実力なら優勝できるってうちは信じてます。
Whoa, hey now. Is this a nationwide broadcast? Should we really be making grand declarations as high schoolers just debuting? You're not supposed to say that kind of thing out loud, even if you believe it. How embarrassing.
うまいのはロボの操縦じゃなくてお嬢ちゃんの操縦じゃねえの？ベッドの中でのな。
Creepy. He's grinning like he just dropped the mic after a real zinger, but all he's doing is sexually harassing a young girl.
下がってんじゃねえって言ってんだよクソガキどもが。だいたいなんだてめえらのロボはよ。パッと見た感じずいぶん古そうなパーツ使ってるじゃねえか。
Yeah, it's like, okay, boomer.
どう見ても時代遅れのポンコツだろ。身の程を知りやがるってんだ。
And I cannot believe I just said that, but I did. Do I regret it? No.
あんまり生意気言うようだと俺のデビルストロンガーでガチで潰すぞ。
Devil Strong. I feel like that's a reference to something, but I don't know what. What is that a reference to? I mean, I could just be imagining it, but I feel like that's a reference to something.
相手のロボを壊すのはルールで禁止です。
Oh God. What were you saying? Yeah, I am sorry about that. I have to fix that. Yeah, I know. I probably should fix that though.
ああ、なんか言ったか。
言いました。対戦相手のロボを壊すのは禁止です。
この甘。
ああ、はいはい、アキちゃんいいから下がって。
I pull Akio by the hand and stand her behind me. I then put myself directly in the line of Maikawa's glare.
いやーすみません、もう喋りませんから。
ああ、
試合前にあれこれ挑発しても負け犬の遠吠えにしか聞こえませんもんね。失礼しました。
そりゃどういう意味だ。
Maikawa's face turns bright red. I guess he's angry.
どういう意味も何もそのままですけど、反省してるんですよ。
このガキ、俺を誰だと思ってやがる。
まあまあ落ち着いて、なんで怒ってるんです？
はい、話してないで。両者、準備 OK？
The referee cuts in and gets straight to business. And I think with that... Oh, no, wrong button. I think with that, I'm going to save. And end the stream here. Oh, that was something. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Yeah, I figured it's just over 3 hours, so that's a good time as any. Plus, my hand was starting to cramp up. bulky controller. But yeah, sadly, I don't know why it does that, but yeah. But yeah, that. Oh God. Ugh. The stuff that guy was saying, I cannot stand people like that. They drive me insane. Like, lay off, you know? Yeah, exactly. Just like, lay off, creep. But yeah, 3 hours and 2 minutes. It looks like. Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea. But yeah, I'll probably stream again sometime this week. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe Saturday afternoon. I don't know. But or maybe I'll just wait until next week. I'm not sure. But until whenever I do that, eh, hey, if it's welcome, it's not bugging. But yeah, until whenever I stream next, later days, and as is my regular sign off, El Sai Kongru.